Chelsea's Callum Hudson Odoi transfer tactic may be illegal, Pat Nevin. Chelsea are hoping to keep the teenage winger after a series of impressive displays encouraged Bayern Munich to make a move for him. Hudon-Odoi handed in a transfer request over the weekend and feels he needs to move to help his development. He has 18 months left on his contract and is refusing to sign a new deal, but Chelsea remain desperate to keep him. They have rejected his transfer request and are planning on playing him more regularly in the hope he will decide to stay. But Nevin has suggested any actual promise to Hudon-Odoi may infringe on his contract and could cause complications in the dressing room. Writing in his column for Chelsea.com, Nevin said, "I have heard it being said that Callum should be promised a certain amount of game starts as a temptation to stay at Chelsea, and, to be honest, I think that might be one of the daftest ideas I have ever heard. First of all, I don't think it would even be legal in a contract, as it would be a restriction of trade for the other players. Secondly, what if he had a terrible time, lost form after an injury, or the simplest and most likely scenario, that Willian, Hazard, Pedro, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic or whoever, including the next youngster coming through, was simply playing better and deserved their chance. This is not a negative towards Callum. I wouldn't have given Frank Lampard, Gianfranco Zola, John Terry or Didier Drogba that sort of promise. It could destroy team morale in a millisecond. Happily for Callum in Chelsea, he played fairly well yet again and scored an absolutely brilliant goal. He doesn't seem to be demanding that sort of promise anyway and is only looking to do what is best for himself as he sees it. Like everyone else who watches the Blues, I would prefer him to sign a new contract with Chelsea and continue learning his trade here. Even if he feels he needs games every week, I get that. That could easily be accommodated by a loan for a short period if necessary. If, however, he does not resign, I trust there will be limited if any condemnation of the club if they then, with a heavy heart, may eventually allow a transfer to Bayern Munich or whoever for a huge sum of money for such a young player. If the club keeps him on and lets his contract run down to 1 year, it is a risk. If the contract was run down to the end in a year this summer, it would be an incredible waste of money that could have been reinvested into the academy that continues to produce fine young players. The transfer window could bring things to a head, but in some senses the club is still in a strong position. So the options are, 1. He signs a new contract, which is good for the club. 2. He is sold. The club loses a fine young player but profits financially. This is still a fairly good outcome for the club, if not perfect. 3. He stays until the summer and is then sold, good but risky. C4, although he could change his mind in that time and sign up again. 4. He is kept on with no new contract. He keeps learning as the contract runs down until leaving for a pittance and another club benefits from all our work. This is definitely suboptimal for Chelsea. In amongst all the chat, I just hope whatever happens with Callum, he makes the right choices for his long-term career. He does seem a very sensible, as well as talented, young guy, and the thing is he might only know many years down the line if the choices he made were the right ones.